Okay, good morning. It's Saturday and yeah, I had a beer last night, so I'm not feeling the best. So anyway, that aside, it really ought to be done in a series, really. This is Operation Repair Screw Up. We've been struggling for a little while. I haven't mentioned it purely because everybody's been so kind with their words about this machine, and I have to say it's been fantastic. The feedback's been good. Everybody understands that it's not an easy thing to do. You have got to give it a little bit of thought and lots of trial and error, and that's what I've been doing, is lots of errors. And it's been very trying, so it ought to be called try and error. Since putting on the floating head, this little genius piece here, there we go. Right, the floating head was to combat problems that we have with the ohmic sensor, all of the ohmic touch stuff, all of this stuff. The problems we were having was that the water, as you've seen in a previous video, was giving me hell, and it was savage. It was quite brutal. However, we have actually found that the floating head and combination of the ohmic sensor has made for fantastic cutting. It just works. It works really, really well. We cut out some plates during the week for a customer, a 10mm plate, and they were spot on, absolutely spot on. The holes were round, which is obviously a little bit of a can be a bit of a dark art when it comes to plasma, to be fair, especially CNC. I don't know why it doesn't do holes. I'm sure there's a technical reason for it. Anyway, okay, so that aside. So what we've done is that if you look at from the motor pinion to there, moving along to the torch tip there, that distance has increased because of all this gubbins here. Now, I've got two options. Hang on, let me explain the problem. So, because of that, I've lost the ability to cut a full 2.5 meter sheet by 1.250 sheet, 8 foot by 4 foot old school, or for you Americans. So, with that, it's become a little bit problematic. We're having to drag sheets off the table, reset the machine, and it's just time wasting. So, we need to get around it. So today is Operation Extend Table. The plan is to, you can see I've cleaned it up a little. The plan is to extend this way enough to park the torch. So what I mean by that is that the other issue we have is sometimes we've got to fiddle the plate in under the beam. Sorry, the light's a bit bad there. We've got to fiddle the plate in under the beam. So what we want to do is we want to go back far enough to be able to park the machine as far back as we can within reason. Now that leads to several little issues. I'm just going over all the crap now so that you understand what I'm trying to do. It means we're probably going to have to move our rotary business back as well. That's not the end of the world. That's piece of cake. In fact, it gives us more rotary cutting capabilities because it gives us more length. But as you can see, the pinion comes back. When it hits the sensor, it stops. The pinion stops about there. And of course, with the distance from pinion to the torch head that I've already explained, I don't know what the distance is, but it's too much. We've got some, a few issues that we need to overcome. So the plan is, like I say, extend the box section. Yeah. We're going to unscrew the rails. This is my crazy plan. We're going to unscrew these rails. They're 2.7 meters long. So we're going to unscrew these. Then we're going to move them forward, probably 2 holes. So it sticks out here. And then what me and the lad is going to do when he gets in is that we're going to run the beam back, yeah, see what we need to do to the cable chain, because the next thing, of course, is we're going to need to move this cable chain that way the same amount at least. because as the beam moves back, yeah, it would get caught on that and it would rip shit to pieces. So we don't want that happening. We've got enough wire and loom and everything underneath there to facilitate that. So that's the plan. I'll get back to you later and I'll let you know what happens. I'll probably take a video showing you when we move the rails back that way, which is my next job, is actually to unscrew all of those now. God bless impact drivers. And then what we're going to do is move it back 2 holes. I'm going to measure the distance between the pinion and the torch head. That's my very next job. We're going to measure it, and I'm going to add 100mm, which will give us that resting distance I was talking about, you know, where we can park the torch right back out the way, and we can drop a sheet straight in on the top, and everything's all lovely and you know, fluffy and fairy-like. So what we're going to do is get back to you shortly once we've moved these rails, and we'll see what happens, see where we go. Am I looking forward to it? Nope. Is it quite a big screw up? Oh yes. We had to swap out, I think it was 13 sheets of 5mm during the week, and we had to move every one of them again. Oh no, 4mm, sorry, for legs. I'll show you the legs. Oh, I could show you the legs there. These, cut those out. So having to move the sheet so that we could cut the last 4 legs out of the end of the sheet was ridiculous. Anyway, I'll get back to you later and I'll let you know whether we've succeeded or failed miserably. Take care, see you in a bit. So that was 4 hours, and I'm going to show you what I've done, and please be kind. It's all about rectifying a mistake, not necessarily making things pretty. But what we've done is we have added that. So we've managed to add the rail, we've managed to add the rack on both sides. So we're looking good actually. So there we go. So that's the addition. That's the added parts up through there. Excuse me. Need to tidy up the welding a little bit. One thing a lot of people don't know is that joining this stuff, I mean, that looks like it's not joined properly at all, but you cannot see or hear those bearings off there run over it. It's dead quiet. We disengage the motors and we run the beam up and down and up and down and up and down, and nearly, to be fair, it nearly ran off the end because we haven't got a hard stop on there yet. In the process of, I've just cut out another sensor holder because that's a right angle one and that one's a flat one, and that's to go on here somewhere. So that's the next thing. Obviously the chuck and the motor for the rotary is off at the moment. That's got to be reattached on here, which gives us another 300mm of rotary. The rack itself is just as quite straightforward. There's a gap there, but that's to make sure that, as you can see, all the teeth stay the same. So what I did there was I got myself one of our brand new pinions, and you just engage it and you can see it's perfect engagement. Yeah, and that's what I do to roughly figure it out. It's the same on both sides. If we get in here, exactly the same. There's a little bit of noise on that one, but it runs as smooth as you like, and the motors don't move, you know, they don't seem to ride on anything. I've done a cut up through both this joint here and the rack joint, no problem. When I talk about errors, look, there's errors. Okay, those holes are about 1/4 of a hole out. We were trying to line this up and it was all going, well, tits up really. So we got another one in there for now. I'm going to put another one in that side to locate it. We've had to shim under here to get this nice and level. Now can you see there's a slight, oh, if we can get it focused, there's a slight colour difference there to there. Can you see there and there? That is a friend of mine builds, and installs massive ones of these, and he said use something like this. Now I don't know whether you can see on here, but this is a 1000 grit diamond stone, and all you do is over the joint is just lap it in, yeah, lap it all the way around, yeah, and it gives you that discoloration, but it gives you an absolutely perfect joint. So you get it as close as you can with your fingers, with touch, and once it's as close as you can get, then just lap it in and just make it, you know, make it as sweet as you can. If we run the machine up, I'll do it slow speed, so, oh, let's bring it. So you'll be able to see the motor there now as it runs over that joint. I'll do it slow speed. And it's going over the joint. Now, you can't even tell it's gone over the joint, so that's working fine. And then up to here, you can, no chunkiness or anything over that joint. The knocking you can hear is the follower. Can you see? So that's what that is. So basically, long and short is it's been a success. We should never have had to done it in the first place, but there we go. We now have 2 meters 600 of bed by 1 meter 300 bed. So we were so close to making it a 1500 3 meter, but that's never going to happen on this machine, I'm afraid. So all of those of you that might think you'd like to see that happen, it ain't. It's never going to happen. We had a bit of fun and games with the rails. We had to move the rail up. So we had to move the rail up this way, locate one side, put on what we needed, test run it before we release the other side, and then we had to move the rail back to put these bits in. I didn't really want to join the rail on the weld join, but I would rather have the join this end where it will rarely get used rather than the other end where it gets pretty much used all the time. So there you go. That is the screw up fix. There's a couple of things that still need doing, but we'll get to that later. So let's have a little looky around here again. Oh, a little bit of doom walking. So there you go. The other thing we've had to do is we've had to move the cable chain ended here, so we've had to move it that way, which is no great shakes. Plenty of wire there, not an issue. We put a couple of catchy followers on here for the cable chain now because it was trying to run away, and you can see there's a few marks there where it was caught because it was running away. It was just coming out the side and it was getting caught in the pinion, and it was just making a mess. So that's that. So there we go. It is all the way back there. We're going to put some hard stops on the end to stop any bad crashes and shit. I'm going to put the Hall effect on there now, the sensor there. That's going to go on now. That'll be done. And that's it. What can I say? It worked. It all went back together. It all came apart quite nicely. I have to say, you know, giving myself a pat on the back with my super long arms, having these sprung motors makes placing the rack so easy. It is just so much easier having sprung motors. I know there are lots of reasons not to do it, but I love sprung motors. I would prefer to use itty bitty air rams, yeah, because they're softer, if you know what I mean. So they engage, but they engage with power, but it seems to be a softer power. These are die punch springs, and they're strong. They're a little bit too strong for the job, really. But it works, and all I have to do is every year is replace the pinions because they get a little bit shouldery up here in the top. Can't really see because it's not focusing very well, but there we go. But there's a little shoulder on there, but until they wear out, no need to mess with them, really. It just works, and that's all we need in this game is machines that work. That's all we need to, you know, to make a few pennies as well. So there we go. That's it. There's I'll give you just a bit of a quick overview of the whole extension. The extension's in the red. Wasn't ideal to join the rail on the join of the weld, but you know, hang on, bit pissed. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. It works. It will rarely go back there. It's just it was so damn annoying to not be able to park the machine back or to cut a full 2.5 meter sheet. But we've done it. We fixed it. Please don't take any notice of the board there. We're actually wiring in some more sockets as well. That's this afternoon's job. No rest for the wicked, right? So there we go. I hope you like it. Please subscribe if you want to see a bit more of these mistakes. I wish I could say they were intentional so I could give you guys an educational experience, but believe you me, they are not intentional. The last thing I want to do is give myself a hard time over this machine just so I can make content for YouTube. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure there are people out there that do it, but I don't. I'm not one of them. So there we are. Have a great time. Enjoy the sun. The sun is shining. Look at that. It's bright and sunny there. And take it easy. Have a beer or a wine, whatever you fancy, whatever you tipple, whether it's water, I don't know, it might be cow juice, whatever you want. But have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the support. And please, you know, if you want to give me a hard time about this extension, do so. If you don't, then you can pat me on the back. It saves me growing one arm longer so I can do it myself. Anyway, take care now. Cheers. Bye.